Deep in the heart of this cursed forest stands the old watermill. Its wheel turns endlessly, powered not by the stream, but by a sinister force. The villagers whisper of its dark history, of a miller who made a terrible pact, trading his soul for riches. Cursed for his greed, he became a creature of the night, feeding on the blood of those who entered. No one who goes there after dark ever returns alive. 3 desperate peasants, weary from hunger, approached the edge of the forest. Though they feared the stories, they had no choice but to enter the cursed mill to grind their grain. With lanterns trembling in their hands, they ventured into the dark woods. Every rustling branch and distant whisper felt like a warning. As they neared the mill, the stream gurgled unnaturally, and the air grew colder with each step. The heavy door creaked open, revealing the decaying interior of the mill. Dust-covered beams loomed overhead, and cobwebs draped across the abandoned machinery. The grinding stone, stained a dark crimson, seemed to pulse faintly in the lantern, light. The peasants nervously began their work, hoping to finish quickly. But the air grew heavy, and shadows in the corners seemed to move, as if something unseen was watching them. A whisper echoed through the mill, faint but unmistakable. One of the peasants, a woman, froze as her name was called. She turned, and there it was. A gaunt figure with pale, corpse-like skin and glowing red eyes. It lunged with inhuman speed, sinking its fangs into her neck. She screamed as blood streamed down, while the others shouted in terror. The vampire retreated into the shadows, laughing, as her lifeless body fell to the floor. The remaining peasants barricaded themselves in a corner, their hearts pounding. One of them spotted an old journal hidden beneath the millstone. In its pages, they found a grim revelation. The vampire was once the miller, cursed for his greed. His soul was bound to the millstone, and breaking it would end the curse. Just then, the vampire's voice echoed, dark and mocking. "Fools, the mill will grind your bones as it has so many before." The peasants, trembling but determined, grabbed heavy tools to break the millstone. As one struck the stone, the vampire appeared, attacking with brutal ferocity. It dragged one of them into the shadows, his screams echoing in the dark. The survivor swung a lantern, igniting a fire that began consuming the mill. The vampire, now illuminated, snarled in rage as it stalked toward the last peasant, determined to finish the hunt. With a final swing of the iron rod, the last peasant shattered the cursed millstone. The vampire let out an ear-splitting shriek as its body twisted and crumbled into ash. The water wheel groaned to a halt, and an eerie silence fell over the mill. Flames crackled around the lone survivor, who fell to their knees, exhausted and bloodied, surrounded by smoke and the remnants of the shattered curse. As dawn broke, the surviving peasant limped through the forest, the horrors of the night etched into their soul. Behind them, the mill lay in ruins, its walls blackened by fire. Yet, as the first rays of sunlight touched the cursed stream, the faint sound of the water wheel turning echoed through the trees. In the shadows, 2 red eyes glowed faintly, and a sinister chuckle promised that the curse was far from over.